Hi guys, Papa Pete here. Today I'm here to review one of my favorite Atari VCS games. It's actually one of the very first Atari VCS games that I got. I think it's actually the first one that I bought after I got my Atari VCS back in Christmas 1980. And that game, one of the very first action-adventure games ever on the system, is the Man of Steel himself, Superman. I got that game probably back in about February of 1980, and it was a rather difficult game to pick up and play. Superman for the Atari 2600 was programmed by John Dunn, and frankly it was copied a little bit off of some of the code, the original code from the classic Adventure. The strange thing is this game actually ended up coming out before Adventure was ever released. But that being said, it's a very similar game, very complex game, one of the very first action-adventure games on the Atari VCS or 2600 console. Now, you may have heard differently, but I consider this a one-player game. In the manual and online, you'll see some notes where it says that it's a one- or two-player game. Well, in order to be a two-player game, you have to hook up both joysticks, and one of the joysticks controls the up and down, and the other one controls the left and right. All it really ends up being when two people try to play is a big fight. We used to try it when we were a kid. We'd each grab a joystick, and all it ended up being was a fist fight. We get in a fight, my mom would come over, take away the Atari VCS, we'd have to go outside and play in the snow. No fun at all. It's just frustrating mess to try to play with another person. If you really can coordinate it, give it a shot, but I still say it's a one-player game, and one of my favorites. So what about the gameplay in Superman itself? Well, the object of the game is to find Lex Luthor and his band of thugs, capture them, put them back in prison, and to repair the Metropolis Bridge which Lex and his gang of thugs have blown up. The game starts with Superman flying into a phone booth and disguising himself as his alter ego, Clark Kent. Clark then walks over to a spot overlooking Metropolis Bridge and watches in terror as the bridge explodes and the pieces fly throughout the city. Lex can be seen flying away in his helipack along with 5 of his thugs. Also seen leaving the scene is Daily Planet reporter Lois Lane getting a scoop on the story in the Daily Planet's helicopter. Well, it's time for Superman to take action, so Clark has to return to the phone booth to turn back into the Man of Steel and complete his mission. Now, there are 3 main goals to the game. First, Superman has to capture Lex and all 5 thugs and carry them to the Metropolis jail. Also, Superman must find the 3 pieces of the bridge and return them to their original location so the bridge can be rebuilt. Now, these 2 missions can be done at the exact same time, but finally, after both are completed, Superman has to return to the phone booth, change back into Clark Kent, and make his way to the Daily Planet to end the game. There isn't any score kept in this game, it's strictly a matter of time. Up in the upper right hand corner is a clock, counting up your time, so the goal is to do the whole mission as quickly as possible. Sound easy enough? Well, first off, let's talk about the map. Superman can fly off the screen in any of the 4 directions. The map can be quite confusing, but at least it's static. Once you've played the game enough, you'll know which directions to go to get to your specific destinations in the fastest manner possible. Also helping with your navigation are 4 subway stations that can be entered via little squares that are found in the lower left corners of some of the map screens. Once inside the subway, you can continue going up through 4 differently colored screens, each of which exits into a different area of the original map, depending on whether you leave by the right, by the left, or through the bottom. If you go out the top, you just go to the next section of the subway. Beside getting lost in the map, which is so easy to do, there's a couple other things that will keep you from completing your mission. Lex has released 3 Kryptonite Satellites into the city, floating around at random, and if any of them touch you, you lose your ability to fly or to pick up any objects. In order to regain your powers, you have to kiss Lois Lane by running into her. I thought we learned in Superman 2 that Superman couldn't ding Lois Lane without giving up his powers. Luckily, on easy difficulty settings, Lois appears automatically whenever you get touched by one of the satellites. With the settings on difficult, sometimes it can be extremely frustrating to find Lois because you have to walk around the screen until you do, and usually once that happens and you touch her and get your powers back, you go 2 screens and you hit another satellite. It's extremely frustrating. Remember me telling you about the helicopter that carried Lois away from the bridge explosion? Well, it's flying around the city as well, not really as an enemy, but more as a pain in the butt, carrying things around just at random. It's like the Bat in Adventure, except for it doesn't move nearly as fast, but the noise that it makes is a hell of a lot more annoying. Superman also has one of his powers that he can use that I haven't explained yet, and that's his X-ray vision. By holding in the button and pushing the joystick in one of the 4 directions, you can see what's coming up on the next screen. This is very helpful for quickly searching out bad guys or bridge pieces, and to really become good at the game, you have to master the quick peek to the screens all around. So let's give it a go and see what kind of time I can get. Alright, so I got Superman up and loaded. Here we go. Let's see how quick we can do it. Once you learn the screens, you can go pretty quick. So here we go. Into the phone booth. And I don't need to watch the bridge be blown up. I know it was. I even know where the pieces are. There's one. I'm looking all the time for where Lex Luthor is. If I see Luthor, I'll grab him as soon as I can. But for now, I'm just going to grab the piece of the bridge before the helicopter carries him off. Because if the helicopter carries him off, they're a real pain to find. But once I get this done quick... Excellent. Alright, the bridge is built. Now into the subway. Looking for Lex Luthor. There he is over by the... Oh, I lost it. I lost him. Just like that. I know where I am. Right by the phone booth. Cross the bridge. Up one. There we go. Into the subway. No, the red is the subway. There's another guy. How many do we got left? We got 2 men and Lex Luthor. Then they get back. There's another one. Back straight across. I hate it when the satellites hang out around the jail like that, because they're the ones that get you, because you have to go there. Use X-ray vision. There's Luthor. There he is. I got him. Now, where am I? I got to find something I recognize. That I recognize. Nope. Okay, there we go. Red out this side, and Luthor's captured. All you do is find one. Oh, I just get hit. Ding. Okay, away we go. Finding that last thug. Where is he? No sign of him. Oh, where is he? Right there. And I know where that is. That is right here and back to the phone booth. This is going to be a good time. And I can still remember the very first time we got changed back. We had no idea where to go and didn't realize how simple it was. There it is. 145. Not a bad game. See if you can top that one. Now, to this day, I still love popping in Superman and rattling off a couple of quick games. Remember, this was one of the original adventure games available on any console, and when we first played it back in 1980, we were absolutely amazed. It's incredible to look at something like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild and realize that this is where it came from. This is the roots of those games. It was this game and games like the classic Adventure that paved the way for modern day RPGs and action-adventure games. This game is 39 years old, and to tell you the truth, in my opinion, it's still the best Superman licensed console game available today.
And isn't that just a little sad?
Well, so what's my rating? Well, you know what? I'm pretty biased, and I did pick this game out because I knew I loved it, and frankly, it's very sentimental for me, and it just brings back great memories. So what I'm going to grade it as is a classic. I'm Papa Pete, the old guy gamer, and I hope that you enjoyed my review of Superman for the Atari 2600. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.